Barbados is a sun-kissed island in the Caribbean, known around the world for its turquoise waters, powdery white sands, and warm tropical climate. But beyond its postcard-perfect beaches lies a nation rich in history, culture, and diversity, shaped by centuries of migration, colonialism, and resilience. To understand Barbados, one must understand its people, the major ethnic groups that have come to call this island home, and the enduring legacies they have left behind. These groups have not only shaped the cultural landscape but also influenced the economy, politics, cuisine, and way of life, leaving a deep imprint on everything from music to architecture. Barbados has long attracted individuals seeking opportunity, safety, and a vibrant community, and its housing market reflects both the diversity and affluence of its population. From historical rural villages to luxury beachfront estates, the island provides living options for a wide range of incomes and lifestyles, making it a magnet for local residents and international expatriates alike. The Afro-Barbadian population forms the overwhelming majority of the island's residents, accounting for approximately 95% of the population. Their history is deeply intertwined with the tragic legacy of the transatlantic slave trade, which brought thousands of Africans to Barbados beginning in the early 17th century. Enslaved men, women, and children were forced to labor on sugar plantations under extremely harsh conditions, often working from dawn until dusk in the sweltering tropical heat. Many were brought from regions that today comprise Ghana, Nigeria, and Benin, carrying with them traditions, spiritual beliefs, and agricultural knowledge. Despite the brutality of enslavement, the African population preserved their cultural practices, blending them with European customs over generations to form a vibrant, resilient Afro-Barbadian identity. Music, storytelling, dance, and religious traditions became central to community life, offering both solace and continuity. Even today, these cultural practices are visible in the island's lively festivals, the rhythms of calypso and soca music, the folk dancing of tuk bands, and in culinary traditions like susu and flying fish, which remain the national dish. These foods trace their roots back to African culinary methods while incorporating local ingredients and European influence, showing the fusion of cultures that defines Barbados. Afro-Barbadians have historically inhabited parishes such as St. Michael, Christ Church, and St. James, with settlement patterns reflecting both economic necessity and community networks. Property values in these areas vary significantly, reflecting differences in urban development, tourism proximity, and commercial investment. In central parishes like Bridgetown and surrounding St. Michael, a three-bedroom family home might cost around $480,000 Barbados dollars, equivalent to approximately $240,000 United States dollars, providing relatively accessible housing in areas with vibrant social and cultural infrastructure. Meanwhile, in Christ Church, closer to tourist hubs and the airport, prices rise to roughly $751,000 Barbados dollars, $375,500 United States dollars, reflecting demand from both locals and expatriates attracted to the conveniences and lifestyle offered there. Afro-Barbadians often benefit from strong family networks, informal lending circles, and community support when acquiring property, and these social structures have helped maintain continuity and stability within neighborhoods over generations. Many Afro-Barbadians also move abroad for education or employment opportunities but maintain strong ties to their island roots, often returning to invest in homes, businesses, and community initiatives, further contributing to the local economy. The white Barbadian community, though smaller, has historically held significant influence, tracing its roots to British colonists and other European settlers who arrived during the 17th century. These settlers established the sugar plantation economy, which became the backbone of Barbados' colonial wealth, and many of their descendants retained substantial landholdings even after emancipation. White Barbadians historically managed plantations, owned commercial enterprises, and influenced legal, educational, and political systems. Over time, integration with the broader society occurred, but the legacy of colonial influence is still visible in grand colonial-style homes, public institutions, and the elite social structures that persisted into modern times. Many white Barbadians have traditionally favored the island's western coast for residences, where the Platinum Coast offers scenic beaches, upscale resorts, and high-end private estates. A three-bedroom property in St. James or St. Peter can range from 1.6 million Barbados dollars to over 6 million Barbados dollars, 815,500 United States dollars to 3 United States dollars million, with some villas surpassing these figures depending on beachfront access, size, and amenities. Migration patterns for white Barbadians are often influenced by professional and business opportunities, with many choosing to remain close to urban centers or high-end tourist areas, while some have emigrated to countries such as the United Kingdom, Canada, and the United States, maintaining strong transnational ties. An often overlooked but historically significant group is the Irish Redlegs, descendants of Irish indentured servants brought to Barbados in the 17th and 18th centuries. During the Cromwellian period, many Irish were forcibly transported to Barbados as laborers, tasked with supplementing the African enslaved workforce on sugar plantations. Life for the Redlegs was harsh, with limited rights, small plots of land, and often isolation from other communities. Despite these challenges, the Irish Redlegs maintained their cultural identity, preserving distinct religious practices, family names, and oral traditions. They settled predominantly in eastern and central parishes, such as St. John and St. Joseph, where rural living provided some degree of autonomy. Property in these areas tends to be more affordable, with three-bedroom homes averaging 262,000 Barbados dollars, 131,000 United States dollars, appealing to those seeking a quieter, more rural lifestyle. The Redlegs story reflects not only hardship and survival but also cultural adaptation, as over generations, intermarriage and integration with other communities created a unique Barbadian identity that combines European and Caribbean heritage. The Indian community in Barbados represents another significant contribution to the island's diversity. After slavery was abolished in the 1830s, indentured laborers from India were recruited to work on sugar plantations, helping to meet labor shortages and maintain agricultural production. These immigrants arrived seeking opportunity and stability, often enduring years of contract labor in a foreign environment. Over time, Indian Barbadians transitioned from plantation labor into entrepreneurship, opening grocery stores, markets, and businesses that would serve both local and expatriate populations. Cultural influence remains strong through festivals, culinary traditions, and religious practices, which include Hindu temples and community celebrations such as Diwali. The Indian community's real estate presence is notable, particularly in urban centers like Bridgetown, where commercial property values for small business owners and residential units reflect both the demand for accessibility and integration with the commercial economy. Average prices for three-bedroom homes in Bridgetown are approximately 1 million Barbados dollars, 500,000 United States dollars, with prime locations near marketplaces, schools, and transport hubs commanding higher values. Migration trends within the Indian community often relate to business development, education, and professional advancement, with some families also maintaining connections to India through travel, remittances, and cultural exchange. Chinese immigrants began arriving in Barbados in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, primarily as shopkeepers, traders, and small-scale entrepreneurs. Their arrival coincided with periods of economic transition, and many Chinese immigrants found success in retail, food service, and trade networks. Over generations, Chinese Barbadians have become integral to the commercial fabric of the island while maintaining cultural and family traditions through cuisine, festivals, and social organizations. Chinese community members have strategically invested in both residential and commercial real estate, particularly in urbanized areas such as Bridgetown and St. Michael, with three-bedroom homes averaging 480,000 Barbados dollars, 240,000 United States dollars. These investments often serve dual purposes, combining family housing with small business operations, reflecting a long-term vision of stability and economic growth. Migration decisions for Chinese Barbadians historically stemmed from entrepreneurial opportunity, community networks, and access to education for subsequent generations, with some families also establishing international business links throughout the Caribbean and North America. The real estate market across Barbados illustrates not only the economic activity of these diverse communities but also the broader trends in property development and migration. Coastal areas, particularly St. James, St. Peter, and Whole Town, attract high-net-worth individuals seeking luxury homes and resort-style living, with beachfront villas ranging from $2 million Barbados dollars to $6 million Barbados dollars. $1 million United States dollars, $3 million United States dollars. Urban centers, including Bridgetown and surrounding St. Michael, offer a mix of historical homes, apartments, and commercial properties, appealing to families, business owners, and expatriates. Rural parishes such as St. Andrew, St. John, and St. Joseph provide more affordable housing options, often ranging from $250,000 Barbados dollars to $500,000 Barbados dollars, $125,000 United States dollars to $250,000 United States dollars, appealing to those seeking a quieter lifestyle or investment opportunities with potential for appreciation. The Barbados Welcome Stamp, introduced in recent years, has further increased demand, enabling remote workers to live and work on the island for up to a year, drawing global interest and adding pressure to the housing market. Mortgage rates for non-residents typically start at 4.5%, and with the Barbadian dollar pegged to the USD, financial stability and predictability make the island a practical choice for long-term investment. Migration patterns within Barbados reflect both historical and contemporary influences. Afro-Barbadians often maintain strong local roots, with movements typically oriented around employment, education, and family needs. White Barbadians' migration tends to be influenced by professional and business considerations, both locally and abroad. Indian and Chinese communities maintain robust transnational connections, supporting commerce, education, and cultural exchange, while Redleg descendants often remain in rural areas where family heritage and land ownership define lifestyle choices. In all cases, the movement of people within and into Barbados is shaped by a combination of cultural ties, economic opportunity, and the appeal of island living. Barbados' social fabric is further enriched by the interplay of these communities. Music, food, language, and festivals reflect centuries of interaction, adaptation, and hybridization. The annual Crop Over Festival, for example, demonstrates the centrality of Afro-Barbadian culture while incorporating European and Caribbean influences. Indian and Chinese festivals are celebrated within their communities, providing opportunities for cultural exchange and appreciation. Food culture across Barbados exemplifies this blending, with restaurants offering fusion dishes that combine African, European, Indian, and Chinese flavors. Cultural preservation efforts, supported by both government and community organizations, ensure that the island's diverse heritage remains visible and accessible to locals and tourists alike. The evolution of the housing market parallels cultural and demographic development. Historically, land ownership was concentrated among white Barbadians and plantation elites, while Afro-Barbadians and Redlegs occupied smaller plots or rural settlements. Over the 20th and 21st centuries, shifts in economic opportunity, education, and migration led to more equitable access to property, with diverse communities now able to participate in real estate ownership, investment, and development. The growth of luxury tourism and foreign interest has also spurred new construction, renovations, and urban planning projects, resulting in a housing landscape that is as varied as the island's population. The convergence of culture, history, and economic opportunity makes Barbados a unique destination. The island's ethnic groups each contribute distinctive elements to society while participating in shared national identity, creating a dynamic, diverse, and vibrant environment. Housing reflects these dynamics, from modest urban residences and rural family homes to luxury beachfront villas and high-end investment properties. For those considering relocation, property acquisition, or long-term settlement, Barbados offers not only a beautiful and stable environment but also the chance to become part of a living cultural mosaic shaped by centuries of human movement, adaptation, and resilience. Barbados continues to attract individuals seeking a combination of lifestyle, safety, and economic opportunity. The richness of its culture, the warmth of its communities, and the variety of its real estate market make it a compelling choice for families, professionals, retirees, and investors alike. The interplay between historical legacy, modern development, and ongoing migration ensures that Barbados will remain a vibrant and evolving society, where heritage and progress coexist, and where each ethnic group's contributions are recognized and celebrated. The island's future is intimately tied to its past, with the Afro-Barbadian majority, white Barbadians, Irish Redlegs, Indian, and Chinese communities collectively shaping a society that values history, opportunity, and the beauty of its Caribbean environment. Whether through music, food, architecture, or property investment, Barbados stands as a testament to the enduring power of culture, community, and human resilience.